So in America, it is estimated that there are about 10,000 innocent people who are convicted every year. It is even estimated that about 1 in 25 people on death row are innocent. However, the figures are probably far worse. Convicted people who are later declared innocent spend, on average, 14 years in prison. Although the longest case is that of Richard Phillips. He was freed in March after spending 45 years for a murder he did not commit. He was 27 when he was arrested. He is now 73. Finally, over 70% of wrongful convictions are related to eyewitnesses misidentifying the wrong person in the United States. This is because it is really difficult to recognise someone you've only seen briefly before, particularly if you're afraid during a crime or if you're afraid during a lineup. It is more difficult to get the statistics in the UK, but it seems that this is a global problem and it can happen to anybody. So, in 1984, Jennifer Thompson Camino was raped. She was later asked to do a lineup that contained 7 men. Although she was uncertain, she picked number 5, Ronald Cotton. Cotton was convicted and was imprisoned for 11 years until DNA evidence proved that he was innocent of the crime. Meanwhile, the perpetrator, Bobby Poole, was free to commit other rapes until he too was imprisoned at the same prison. Now, the tragic irony of this case is that Bobby Poole was also present in the same lineup. He was number 2. Blackstone's formulation is a principle in criminal law which states that it is better that 10 guilty persons escape than 1 innocent should suffer. But what do you think? Is it better to interrupt 1 innocent life? Or is it better that people are at risk from dangerous criminals? Well, I think it's important to try to address both. But most previous eyewitness research has either improved measures that might reduce the rates of wrongful convictions at the expense of wrongful non-convictions, or vice versa. I believe pupillometry could help. So we all know that pupils get bigger because lighting levels change, but they also change size for other reasons. So pupillometry measures these pupillary changes as people perform tasks in order to make inferences about what's going on in the brain. For instance, it's widely believed that pupils get bigger when a person looks at someone they're attracted to. Could be handy. They also get bigger when people are performing difficult mathematical tasks compared to easy ones. And they also get bigger when people look at something they remember having seen before, compared to looking at something they have never seen before, even if they are asked to lie about remembering it. So I'm Camilla Elphick, and I'm investigating with Graham Hole and Graham Pike from University whether it is possible to measure an eyewitness's memory strength in a lineup as they're looking at faces. And we have found that we can. So first of all, we showed participants a video of a mock crime, and then later we asked them to look at a lineup containing possible suspects. Overall, we found that pupils became 32% larger when looking at the criminal compared to looking at the other faces, but only in participants who correctly identified him. There were no pupillary changes in people who made no identification, and there were none in people who misidentified an innocent person. We also had a version of the lineup where the criminal was not present, and pupils did not change size no matter what people did. They did not even change as the person who misidentified an innocent person was making their misidentification. Therefore, we concluded that pupillary changes only occurred in participants who recognised the criminal as they were looking at him. This suggested that the pupil size changes were a measure of recognition strength rather than the consequence of making an identification. We also found that we could predict whether a participant had recognised the criminal or not by looking at their pupil sizes. And this was particularly accurate in participants who rated their own memory as very strong. Those who said that they remembered the criminal well and identified him had dramatic pupillary changes when looking at his face that reflected this strong memory. However, those who claimed to remember the criminal well, but did not identify him, had no pupillary changes at all, suggesting that their belief in their strong memory was wrong. And finally, in some participants who claimed they were guessing, we saw pupillary changes when they looked at the criminal's face, despite the fact that they did not identify him. This suggested that they may have had some implicit recognition for his face, and that either they made no identification because their memory strength was not strong enough for them to be aware of it, or they made no identification for other reasons. So it is possible that pupillometry could provide a useful tool for police in lineups. Currently, all police have to go on are identification responses, and we know that these are unreliable. Pupillometry could add additional information about the memory strength of an eyewitness as they're looking at individual faces that could help police make credibility assessments. And the technology is available to conduct pupillary lineups in eyewitnesses and victims' own homes. This means they do not have to be re-traumatised by doing so at the police station. So, therefore, it seems that pupillometry could provide some sort of solution for the issues of wrongful convictions, reducing the likelihood of interrupting innocent lives. And it could also help to address some of the issues of wrongful non-convictions by reducing the likelihood that dangerous perpetrators are free to commit further crimes. And I just wanted to leave with a couple of photographs. So this is Richard Phillips, who I mentioned. He was released 2 months ago after serving 45 years for a murder he didn't commit. And this is Ronald Cotton, who was accused of raping Jennifer Thompson-Canino and was then later found innocent. And they now work together to fight for justice. Thank you very much.